Decentering men is spiritual. That's what I want to talk about in this video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I want to talk about decentering men and how this is spiritual and what decentering men means to me and what it is and what it's not, all of the things. So let's just get into the video. So hopefully this won't be such a long video, but sometimes how your girl gets, we'll see. So today I want to talk about decentering men because I found it interesting. I did my last video we were talking about, or I was sharing some advice I would give to my daughter or my younger self. And one of the pieces of advice, is advice plural or so advice is not plural, it's singular. And pieces makes it whatever. One of the pieces of advice that I would give my daughter is to decenter men. And it was interesting that that piece of advice actually garnered a lot of attention and comments. And I want to talk about it. I want to share what I meant and why it's spiritual. And so let's just get into it. So decentering men, what it isn't. So in that video, I also shared too, in that same video, it's not about acting like men don't exist or ignoring them or decentering men. You don't have men in your life or anything like that. It's not like that at all. Basically, when I talk about decentering men, it means that you don't morph and transform based off of men. You don't live your life centered around how men are. You instead, which is the spiritual part, center yours. And so you ask, who am I? And often the conditioning is, and what I have learned is that the conditioning is we base our I amness off of how men are. And I've been saying a lot on this channel, I don't get advice, and you shouldn't either, from men. There's the Derek Jacksons of the world, and I don't even know their names. I just know because he had some controversy, so I watched the video and I know about him. But there's a lot of men out there that make their money off of giving advice to women. And so the women audience is basing their beingness off of how men are, what men want, how men operate, and all the things. That's centering men. So it's not about not having a man in your life. It's not about ignoring men and acting like they don't exist. It's not about that. It's you're transforming and morphing your beingness, your I amness, off of how they are. And I've alluded to this a lot on my channel, is that a lot of advice from especially older women to me, I'll speak from my experience, has been, oh, men just look, so you have to be okay with it. That's centering men, because I feel hurt because it is not a fun experience to have your man gawking at other women in a lustful way, which is more of a reflection of his lack of discipline. And if he lacks discipline in his lustful ways, then he's going to lack discipline in other ways. So that speaks volumes that he's probably going to cheat on you. But either way, oh, men are just this way, so your beingness has to be okay with it. Not true. Men are, I don't know, they're lustful and they do these certain things, and you have to morph who you are based off of who they are. And that would be denying your. So for instance, we'll use that example. For instance, we'll use the example of men just look, right? The narrative is that men look. They are visual and they look. And so you should be okay with that. So I would be denying my hurt. I would be denying my own feeling and how I am based off of who he is. That is centering men. And so that's what it is. And that's what the patriarchy and misogyny is based off of, is that men are very sexual. And so whether you feel like it or not, you should just deny yourself, morph and transform who you are, your beingness, based off of how he is or how they are. That is centering men. It's not acting like they don't exist or not having a man in your life. I think men are great, especially self-actualized men. They are wonderful. The original light, they are wonderful. But it's you morphing who you are based off of who they are. So your becoming, your beingness is based off of them and not you asking, who am I? How do I feel? How does this make me feel? How do I want to feel? Because again, life, when we talk about manifest it like a woman, life is my man. Life is my man. Life is a reflection of my beingness. I'm the center. Life, my man, is a reflection of my beingness, who I am, my expression. And so if you're dating or something like that, you morphing who you are at the dinner table with this man, morphing who you are because you think he's going to like you based off of that. Instead of you being in your beingness and enjoying an amazing dinner, amazing food, amazing conversation, amazing ambiance and the environment, and just having a good time. That is you centering yourself and being present with yourself. And he, being a reflection, gets to experience your expression. He gets to experience your beingness. He gets to witness your beingness. So when it comes to interacting with men, they get the opportunity to witness your expression. They are reflecting your expression back to you. They have the wonderful opportunity to witness you. But you are not morphing based off of what you think they want and how they are and who they are. And so that's why I always say, especially at this stage in my journey, I'm not going to a man or some male coach to, unless they're and we're white or something like that. You know what I mean? From what I see, they respect women more than men. And if you flip it, that's when it becomes a distortion. And that's when you get narcissistic behavior and you get toxic behavior and you get abuse and all the things because it's distorted. But you flipped it. You need to be in the center. This is becoming full of self. This is becoming self-obsessed. All the things I talk about on this channel is becoming full of self, gaining a sense of self, and your man is being the reflection. Life is reflecting that back to you. So decentering men isn't about acting like they don't exist and they're like, you know what I mean? That's not what it's about. It's about you and your beingness. Who are you being? Are you being someone based off of you centering them? Girl, I just wanted to share my take on what decentering men is, what it is and what it isn't. So I think some of the narrative about decentering men, some women think, now I can't have a man. It's not true. That's not what decentering men means. It means, who are you being based off of you centering them? So you need to decenter them and just be an expression of your beingness, who you are, and them reflecting that back to you. Life, my man, reflecting my beingness back to me. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll check you in the next one. Peace.